जय प्रगट ब्रह्म स्वरूप जस भाई साहिब सर्व सुरदम पर्व महोत्सवनी जय 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 आज के आनंद की जय 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 सदगुरुदेव की जय 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 सर्वे गुणातीत स्वरूपोनी जय जय जय। सरस आगे भविष्य समझ बेटा। લાસ્ટ વીકનું રિફ્રેશ કરવું છે થોડું બધા.
Sadhak Sabha. Last week we celebrated Pangan Uncle's birthday. So Shankar Uncle, Ketan by Sapan, Bhavesh by Bhavish, Laku, Niket, Suhad, and everyone talked about his positive qualities. Shankar Uncle talked about how when we sing someone's glory, we should see him as the roop of the Guru versus see him as a sevak. So see Guru in him. Then Ketan Bhai talked about the different things that Pangal had, was responsible or was instrumental in his life. Like he forced him to come to America, they forced him to come to go to satsang, he forced him to get into the business, and all of those things have worked out really well for him. Then he talked about how he's a steady batsman despite of all odds and difficulties, his conviction in you is not shaken up. He's been doing morning sabha for so many years. Then talked about how Pangan Uncle, Shankar Uncle, the real rehearsal of this satsang by being with it and supporting it for this many years. Then Prasange Napasna Thavan, Prasange, you, Pangan Uncle, is the master of that. So then Sapan talked about an investment analogy, that there is a strategy of buy and hold in investment. You buy something and you hold. So he says Pangan Uncle has bought into the satsang and has really held on to its values of the satsang. So he was talking more of that. Things that he appreciates is his consistency, and he attends all of these different sabhas. And he gave a soccer analogy of how, the number of games you play, that many caps you win. So he has the most amount of caps in satsang. So that's what I was saying. Most caps. Game ma jaye to cap. Right? That's the analogy, right? Soccer caps.
Those who win, they get cap?
Yeah.
Oh.
So then Bhavesh Bhai talked about, he has to ask for his blessings, for his divinity, to see everyone with divinity and innocence. He talked about his style of antadrashti. Then he always actually encourages and pushes people to do more and more satsang. Bhavish Bhai remembered one of his Pangan Uncle's slogan about Anand Parmanand Sahajana. Laku said, thank you for being such a guiding inspiration. And he's always helped him to be focused towards the Shankar Uncle's wish. Niket talked about again his consistency. He gave a prasang from Vikas's marriage, that it was Vikas's marriage and you would expect the son's dad to be behave differently in some sort of different manner. But the way he kept Shankar Uncle head and everything, and then he served everyone with satsang understanding. So that was really remarkable that he remembers from Vikas's wedding. Then Niket was saying that how he remains calm in most stressful situations. Surat was saying that how especially he tries to listen in the morning sabhas on Pangan Uncle's birthday, because Shankar Uncle shows a lot of happiness on his birthday. He was saying that when Pangan Uncle prays, he can really move Maharaj, and he has lived through so many different arts and the accidents, the stark prasang, but he's never blamed satsang, and instead he has been its pillar. It just used the satsang as its pillar for himself. Surat said that how the Pangan uncle is a go-to person for the uncle, and it's hard to play that role all the time, and we really admire that quality in Pangan uncle. And then Sri Singh uncle says he's very happy with him, so that despite having pressures from all sides, he has kept the glory of satsang alive. So these are some of the points that people.
Very good. So, anybody has any questions today? करके पूछूं? तो देन आज हमारा संकल्प बहन बर्थडे सरस हमारा पिंटू भाई थोड़ी बात करो नहीं
Sayan Samarnijay Sankalpa, we know him from his childhood. I guess when I came from India over here, Sankalp must be of the age of Jayu, high school ma? Sankalp? Huh? 14?
half of his age is now.
Right. Jayu, you are 15? 16? 17, so less younger than Jayu. Who's 14? You? Kush, so Kush's age. So that's how old I had seen him, and then we had come down here, and then I saw him when he was in college. So from as a kid you know a person, and then you see him as a grown up. There is a difference, of course, but some of these qualities where, like, he ever laughing and joking and jovial. He almost always can joke with him. Even back home he was always that way, jovial and funny. One of the things that Bapu talked about him, which really I felt it, realized it, and also appreciated it, was that he both nirdosh in his mannerisms. In the sense, nirdosh, what he was saying was that he doesn't have any kapat in him, or doesn't have malice. So that was Bapu's observation, and I see that in him, that he's he has his own style, but he doesn't have bad intentions for anyone. It doesn't mean bad for anyone. So in satsang also, including me, and we all make fun of him. We joke with him a lot, but he doesn't. He doesn't take offense to it, and he takes very, very frankly. So he's a very frank person from that.
So what kind of fun you make?
It was back, it's like he had taken this networking class, and he had learned something, and he was talking at the mandir. It was old mandir. It was me, Jason, and he was saying something about burst rates. So the way he said it, Jason sort of caught on to it, and then he said that just see that everything he says, he adds an S behind it. So we were then. So now he doesn't do that, but whenever I talk to him, I add an S behind it just to.
So what do you say for the burst rate?
Burst rates. It's burst rate, but he said burst rates.
Mm-hmm.
So now whenever I have to say anything, we remember burst rates, and then we just really prolong the S with him. Sankalp, then Jason had given a lot of names to Sankalp. Jason's knack was that he would give everyone name. Like, he called me peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
Yeah. Like for Pintu Bhai, so PB, so peanut butter. So he would call me peanut butter, So he had names for everyone. So for Sankalp, he came up with the name Mankalp.
Achha.
So I don't know. There's two more, right, Sankalp? Sampam. So But we joke with him.
So he himself came out with those names? Or somebody?
Jason comes up with those names.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason has an act that whenever he gives names to people.
Jason does that. I
Yeah.
thought Sankalp does that.
No,
Okay.
no, Jason does
Jason,
that.
okay.
Like, કે તમે તમારું નામ ક્યાં નહીં એને પાડેલું કે you took it, you put it right, yeah. So he just, yeah, so nothing serious, but I think that's, or maybe it's serious.
So peanut butter was given by Jason to you?
Jason, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And he would just call me Peanut or or Pints. Or, Pints is from Vashi uncle, so they
So did he have any name for me? No?
That Sapan gave you the name Boss. Sapan made that name famous. Boss. But even he has that satsang માટે પોતાપણાનું છે, some things, so the few things he did which maybe they're very admirable and noteworthy, and he has interest in photography, so he learned a lot of things about photography, and now he tries to, as much as he can, he tries to take pictures and help us with that. Then he does the music. When he started playing the octapad, he was just learning it, but he patiently developed, went at it, and now he's just really good at it.
Yeah.
And I remember days when Sankalp, you're not sounding too good, so we would just turn down the volume, and he would be like, come on, but then I thought you better practice, but now he's really good at it, so he he has the talent also. He can play guitar, he can play octapad, he's got musical talent as well. He's and his weight loss, there's a lot of commitment he shows to that, so whatever he wants, and he shows commitment to it, so that's a great quality. Whatever he wants, he gets really behind it. Like, he wanted to get into Google, so upar niche everything he will do, and I'm sure he talked to you so many times, he would talk to, so he's very committed and driven from that perspective. So hope we get those qualities in what we have to do. We be that driven, Sajan Samaranaja.
બીજાને કેવું છે શંકરભાઈનું? Anybody else? અરે વિજયભાઈને કંઈક શંકરભાઈનું ઇન્ડિયામાં તમે સાથે હતા? હે?
સજાન સ્વામી મહારાજે સંકલ્પને અમે પહેલેથી તારદેવમાં હતા ત્યારથી અરુણભાઈની સેવામાં હોય એટલે પહેલેથી, અને જેમ પિન્ટુભાઈ કીધું ને એમ સંકલ્પનું આમ થોડું કેવું કે ફની મૂડ હોય એમ, એટલે તમે એને સંકલ્પને ક્યારે બી જોવો તો કાયમ હસતો હોય ને એવું એમ, તમે એને કાંઈ બી એમ ગુસ્સેથી બી કહો ને તો બી હસતો જ હોય. નેવર કોઈ દિવસ એવું મન પણ ના લે કે મને આવું કહી દીધું કે એવું તમે બીજી સેકન્ડે તમારી સાથે પાછો એ જ મસ્તી કરે ને એ બધું, તો ઇઝ ઓલવેઝ દેટ વોઝ અ ગુડ ક્વોલિટી, આઈ ઓલવેઝ રિમેમ્બર. અને સિન્સ સેવા માટે અરુણભાઈ સાથે સેવામાં હતા તે વધારે તો સંકલ્પને આ વધારે આઈ રિમેમ્બર કે એવું કોઈ બી એવું કાંઈ બી કહે તો મનમાં ના લે એમ. સો ઇઝ ઓલવેઝ, પિન્ટુભાઈ કીધું ને એમ કે ઓલવેઝ ફની હોય એમ, કાયમ હસતો જ રહે. બસ અમે બી એવું શીખીએ કે કોઈ બી પ્રસંગે કોઈ બી કાંઈ કહી જાય કે એવું કંઈ હોય તો બી અમે એવું કાયમ એવું એમાંથી કંઈક લર્ન કરીએ, પણ એનું લેવું લઈને બેસી ન રહીએ. પ્રાર્થના સદા સ્વામી મહારાજે.
સરસ, વેરી ગુડ.
લોન એટલે પાસે સાઇન કરેલી છે.
નોટ આપીશ?
લોન જે
હા, ભણવાની લોન ભાવેશ આપી નહીં?
So we call him Daddy. Papa.
Yeah.
સજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. મેઇન એઝ પિન્ટુભાઈ આપણા સંકલ્પ આપણા વિજય કીધું કે કે ઇઝ વેરી ડેડિકેટેડ ટુ વોટ એવર હી વોન્ટ્સ ટુ ડુ અને મનમાં આવે એ તો કરીને જ રહે. અને બીજી સ્ટાઇલ ઇઝ કે ઇઝ વેરી નેચરલ કે આમ ઘણીવાર આપણે ઇવન બધા મોટા સ્વરૂપો હોય તો સ્વરૂપો આગળ પણ હી ઇઝ વેરી લાઈક ભૂલકું અવસ્થા ને આપણું નેચરલી આપણે વિવેક ઇઝ ડિફરન્ટ પણ હી સ્ટાઇલ ઇઝ કે આમ એમની જોડે બહુ નેચરલ નહીં કે આમ ખોટા નાટ ખોટા બરા એઝ અ કે એવો વેરી ફ્રેન્ડલી વાત કરે અને કોઈ પણ એને એડવાઇસ આપે તો હી વુડ ટેક ઇટ વેરી પોઝિટિવલી અને એવર સ્માઇલિંગ ઇવન ઘણા પ્રસંગ બને કોઈ એની ઝપટી પણ જાય બરાબર ગમે તેમ બોલી જાય તો ઇઝ વેરી વેરી કામ એન્ડ રિલેક્સ. પાછો સામે ગુસ્સો ના કરે હી નોઝ હાઉ ટુ રિટ્રીટ ક્યારે કરવું અને ક્યારે વાત પણ કરવી હી નોઝ સો દેટ્સ વેરી નાઇસ. દેટ્સ વોટ આઈ થોટ. સજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય.
Very good. સુરતભાઈ ને કેવું?
Sadhak Sabha Maharaj. I think the points that I was thinking, Pintubai, Vijaybai and Bhashbhai already said. But that I guess one thing is very committed on the weight loss or everything that he, even though he has lost the weight, now he's ekdam mehnat kare che to maintain, and that's been his routine for like the last year or so. So it's not that it's done, which is continuing education in insurance or any license. You continue the education. That's really nice, and it was very great that he learned the octopad and all that stuff on his own. Gare besina, he just picked that up and he was committed to do that, and he just learned it over years and months and weeks. Pote lavio his own, he got it himself, learned it. He would sit down with Amit Bhai and do some beats and stuff, and then I think he probably like listens to songs or bhajans and tries to match it, and that's a lot of work to learn on your own, at least for music. It's always easier to learn by a teacher or if you have natural abilities, but I'm sure he has. That's how you can learn on your own. And also that he's very like Pintu Bhai was saying, nirdosh, ekdam nirdosh, everything like a bulku. He wish there's no hiding behind window or like a curtain. It's very natural, very open. He is what he is. That's how he rolls, if you will. And we pray we get those same qualities.
Very good. Anybody else? घनश्याम अंकल कहीं गया? अंदर સંકલ્પ વિશે થોડું કહો. સરસ. ઓ સહજ ક્વેશ્ચન. આપો માઇક આપો.
Sajana Swami Maharaj Nijay. So like, I remember hearing that one time, like, if there's Maya on earth, God will always have a physical form. So there's so many Bhagavatis around that carry those qualities that God has. How do you know which one is God himself?
Question. Everybody got it?
When there's Maya on this world, there is a physical form of God. So, and there's Bhagavatis that have the qualities of Swami Bhagwan. How do you tell which one is actually him?
In this world, there are two forces, Maya and God. And the quality of God is what we all like to have and see. And in a Bhagavadi, we see quality of God. And his question is that how do we see those qualities of God in Bhagavadi? How do we not see the quality or disquality of Maya in Bhagavadi? Something like that. Is that what your question is? Okay.
Like, the question was, is Maya is a bad thing. In order to actually protect us from Maya, God manifests. And when God comes, right?
Yeah.
When God comes, he also has Bhagavatis with him to help us understand God. And all these Bhagavatis also have the same qualities like God. So then how do you know God is manifested? How do you know which of the Bhagavatis, they have all qualities of God, but which one is the real God himself? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first I would like to have Shankar Uncle and Ketan Bhai help Sahaj Bhai's question. Huh?
Sadhak Sabha Maharaj Nijay. Happy birthday, Sankalp Bhai. When I see Sankal, we remember he did a role of Gunadethanand Swami. Yeah. Maybe let me understand that question too, I'm going to repeat what Pintu Bhai said, so it would be easier for me. That there is Maya and there is God. And with God, God comes with a lot of devotees or Bhagavatis with him who have similar qualities as God. So how can a devotee recognize whether he is a God or he is a Bhagavati? Is that the right question? That's what Pintu Bhai said. So then, well, we can only talk about something which is in God's time, because that's where God was present, And God, when He came down, He with Him brought around 2000 of the demigods, which were most of the Paramahamsas were all like that, and everybody were portraying super qualities. Miracles was one thing, but they also displayed a lot of good qualities, what God really wanted to when He came on this earth, gunatit qualities, you know. So the question is whether He is a Bhagavadi or He is a God. I mean, God Himself would. The Bhagavadi, I think the Bhagavadi would always tell the devotee or whosoever is thinking him to be Bhagavadi that who the real God is. You know, that is because the Bhagavadi know who God is. Very simple, right? If he is not the God, he is not going to say I am God. So, whenever a Bhagavadi approaches his devotees, his job is to direct a devotee to God. He is not going to tell him I am God, because he is not if God is around. Even if God is not around, he is not going to tell I am God. It's very simple, right? Only a God can say I am God. Or a Gunatit Satpurush, even a Gunatit Satpurush would say that God dwells in him, but God is only one. As Kakaji used to say, there is only one God, Lord Purushottam, Lord Swaminarayan. And there can be no other God. And the carrier of that God is only Gunatit and Swami or Gunatit Swarups. They are the carrier of God. And a Bhagavadi's job is to direct the devotee not to him, but to his master who has God within. Or if the God is present, to God. So the simple thing is, a Bhagavadi would right away tell you that, hey, this person is the God, because Bhagavadi really know who God is or who is God manifested in. That's why he is a Bhagavadi, right? That's why we select Bhagavadis, because he really knows who the real Gunatit Swarup or God is. So I think that would be the simple answer. He would not make it more confused. He will really glorify his master. So that would be easier. Sadhak Sabha Maharaj Ji.
Very good.
Sadhak Sabha Maharaj Ji. So most of time, any devotee or any jignasu or who want to know about these two tattva, they don't have any parameter or standard idea. So it depends on who asking whom, or depends who see him who, in what vision, no? Like I give example. One of my relatives' son, when I did something for him, impossible task, he bowed down with the Sashtang Dandavant to me, and he told me, I did not see the God in the sky or whatever, no? But I see you, you are my God. Why he did so? Because for him it was impossible task I performed. So according to him, I am God, because I finished his impossible task. So this kind of people who call you God, do they mean after 1 year or 2 years something happened which is not according to their desire? They jump on you, because of you this happened. No? So people tell you are God, you're not God, because they don't have the right vision to recognize you. No? Now, but who is God and who is saint? The definition of the saint and God, who connect or જોડે ને પોતાનામાં, જે પોતાનામાં જોડે છે. If it's real God, પોતાનામાં જોડે. Who join you to God, there's a saint, like Ketan Bhai said. So the real sadhu like Gunathan Swami, he said all mahima or greatness of Maharaj so much, so he put everybody, he joined everybody to Maharaj by glorifying him. He's the greatest one, no? But in certain way, who come closer to him, he opens up the, depend on the devotee, no? Devotee's level, no? He will say, God is nowhere where I am sitting, from here to here. So he say, God is here. So God is inside me, no? So when elevated devotee, he opens the secret. But normally he join to God, no? So it's very difficult. It's all depend on the level of the devotee, no? And devotee can say, if some, let's say I'm giving them another example. If Devta comes here in our assembly, right in front of Dinkar Bhai, no? He's shining, and you don't know how Devta will have power, no? You don't have any idea, no? Oh, and he dressed like Lord Swaminarayan. What you will say? Oh, Bhagwan Avaya. Huh? But he might be and some Devta from. So, if we don't have vision who is Devta and who is God himself, or some devotee with stress of Maya, because it's not visible, so we cannot even say that he has that gun of Maya, no? So, people by some glorifying magnanimity of some certain quality, people will be like a andej eye. Their eye becomes now blink and they say, oh, it's God, no? So it's all the level of the devotee, you know. Like Bhagaji Maharaj, first he was with Gopalan Swami, and then he come to Gunathan Swami, and he got real vision by Gunathan Swami, how to understand Lord Swaminarayan. So even if Bhagaji Maharaj becomes the Gunati Swarup, but technically, Gunathan Swami gave him vision, the highest vision, no? And the legacy of the Gunathan Swami, he carry on. So, even Bhagaji Maharaj kind of Swarup, no? He has to learn from Gunathan Swami. Otherwise he could have left in this world, no? Without recognizing Maharaj as Gunathan Swami knows, no? So the real Gunati Swarup or saint, no? Gunati saint, they give the vision to the mumukshu or devotees to see Lord Swaminarayan and as well as himself, how you will perceive him, how you will see him, or greatness of God, Lord Swaminarayan. So most of time when Lord Swaminarayan came, people has upasana of Krishna or Ram or some other deities. Now, so everybody don't see Lord Swaminarayan as a Bhagwan at that time, God. And even they don't consider him as good as Krishna even. So who give all the wisdom to see Lord Swaminarayan as a God? First, Raman Swami declared with his power of Guru. He was Guru of everybody, no? All over India he was famous. And he was a real devotee of Krishna. So he declared to all devotees that he is the real God. So it took long time, like Muktan Swami, he is the most beloved devotee or most elevated devotee. Muktan Swami Maharaj's reincarnation. It took 30 years to understand Lord Swaminarayan is a God. And at the most, how he understand? Krishna or whatever the Raman Swami's God was, no? So even Muktan Swami, Lord Swaminarayan respect him as a Guru. He couldn't even recognize Lord Swaminarayan. Then, by association of Gunathan Swami, he find out Gunathan Swami is a very high level of tattva, no? Then he told Gunana Swami, I will not give you prasad now anymore. So by find the greatness of Gunana Swami, he understands Lord Swaminarayan more higher than. So 1 month was left of his life. Then he told Gunana Swami or other people, no, that when I have seen Lord Swaminarayan first time, and by this many years, now I know the greatness of Lord Swaminarayan, I have more peace in my heart. And last month he realized that. So it took a long time to understand. So even Muktananda Swami had a hard time to understand Lord Swaminarayan. So without Gunatis saint, nobody can have full vision. So you have to go to the Gunatinand Swami. You have to refer his talks. They glorify Lord Swaminarayan. And it's easy to join with Lord Swaminarayan by his Swami Vato. Or who become like Gunatinand Swami, we call Gunatit Swarup. The quality of Gunatit Swarup and Lord Swaminarayan, like Atma, when you say soul, technically soul, Brahma and Parabrahma. It's called one quality, common. When you become pure soul, you are just like a super soul, no? And then you super soul and Parabrahma, technically on earth, no? Quality wise, they don't do anything different. The powers, the behaviors, everything is the same. So from common devotee, you cannot distinguish. But when the super soul or Brahma Swarup, no, or Gunati Swarup, when he say I am not God, no, there's the Gunati Swarup quality, no. So what is the difference between Gunati Swarup and God? Gunati Swarup will never say I am God. And he will say somebody, Bhagavan Jiva, like a God, but not equal to God. So that's, God is only one, and Lord Swaminarayan. Nobody can be God. But it can have like equal to God or like a God, no, on earth for us. So Gunati Swarup is like a God, no? Because so I give another analogy. If you take it out, God out of Gunati Swarup, nothing left. Nothing left. Even his clothes, you don't see even left. So Gunati Swami minus God, nothing left. So he's as equal. Still, Gunati Swami says, I am not God. So he has everything. You cannot find any difference between Gunati Swami and Lord Swaminarayan, technically, by our own vision. Super elevated soul cannot even find the difference between them. They have everything same. Only Gunati Swami behaves as a disciple of the Lord Swaminarayan. That's the only way you can find he is not God. Otherwise, everything is same. All powers, quality of God, God has given everything to him. So for common soul or common people cannot find this. That's why many times people say, oh, he's God, he's Lord Swaminarayan. But it is duty of their Swarup. If people call, thousands or millions of people call you Bhagavan, it is his duty to say, I am not God, God is Lord Swaminarayan. And if he doesn't say that, and people is continue in that fashion, it is fault of their guru. I don't like to say that, but it is. It is. Because that's the only way people will know that he is not God. He doesn't say then, the people say and he doesn't say, keep mum, it means he accepted. So he declares himself as God. Because God gave everything to him, no? Even if you do the same thing what Gunati Swarup does, you will be famous like God again. So it's easy to be declared as a God, no? But it's hard to declare as a Gunati Swarup. More harder than that. ભગવાન થવા કરતો ગુણાતીત સ્વરૂપ થવું અઘરું છે. પાવર આવે એટલે ભગવાન થઈ જાય તમે. એટલે કાકાજી અગેન્સ્ટમાં હતા એના. કાકાજી was against of it. In Supreme Council, Kakaji told many times, don't do that. Because it's easy to be God than to be Gunadit. You understand now? So common soul cannot distinguish them, no? That's why they will say God, no? So any group say their Guru God, no? It's little, it's for them the devotee is good, no? Nothing gonna be happen wrong to them because they have the feeling like that, no? But the Guru has responsibility to tell everybody, no, don't tell me God. Even for the betterment of devotees, he should tell them, don't do that. Kakaji was against of it. Sajan Swami Maharaj Ji.
લખુભાઈ કે કેવું છે તમારે?
Sajan Swami Maharaj Ji. Happy birthday to Sankalp Bhai. Just went in. I guess for Sankalp Bhai, one thing I remember is that when he had first given the initial command to do 2 hours of doing a day, I remember Bapu had told him to give a speech during Friday, so I guess for his initial reaction or his initial feeling of it, and he said, and he was very honest, that's the quality I'm kind of trying to hit, is that he's very honest, and he said, I can't do 2 hours of doing right now in a day, but slowly I'll get there and I'll work my way up till I'll do 15 minutes of doing a day, then I'll work my way up to 30 minutes a day, then an hour, hour and a half, hour and 15, hour 45, and then I'll get to 2 hours. So I think he takes it seriously, and he tries to do his best job to get to whatever it needs to be done. He obviously participates a lot, or tries to make sure that he participates in a lot of different fields in satsang and otherwise as well. He had done I think for photos, he did the Wisconsin Shibir, all of the photos, and he made the slideshow for it as well. In reference to Sajbai's question, I suppose, I guess to distinguish between what is a Bhagavati and what is, I guess, God. I think this question was kind of for me as well, and I understood a little bit more from the two answers before, in that I guess the way that they would explain things, or the roles of both, are a little bit different. That's how you'd see it. And that Bhagavati's job is to bring you closer to the manifest God, or Granit Purush. And Granit Swarup's job is to bring you closer to God. I guess another technique maybe to distinguish would be to do dhun, and then God himself would, I guess, give you a sign of what is, or would help you out in that path, that, that if you did dhun, then, the right answer would come to you. I'm ready to ask Bajbai a similar question, or to this, and he said, dhun would give you the answer. I think the question, or we were just talking, and he's saying that if you're unsure of who a Bhagavati is, or who a good friend is, or of anything, or if you're uncertain, then do dhun and you'll get a sign of some sort. And if not, then do dhun more sincerely or more focused, and then your answer will come.
શંકરભાઈ તમારે કંઈક કેવું છે? આજે બર્થડે છે.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for whatever they said for me. And one thing I'd like to do, like kind of resolution, that બધાની એક quality લેવી, like તમે પહેલા કીધું જ છે, right? But not start with my hands full कि हाँ तारी 10 आनी 15 and make 100%. Start with one and then let's evaluate after an year કે okay બધાની એક લીધી ને કેટલી ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ થઈ. Yeah. બધાનું બધું લેવું તો ઇટ્સ ઓવરવેલ્મિંગ થઈ જાય. So like Suhratbhai's calmness, Pintu's effectiveness, બધાની એક quality લઈને let's see where I can apply it in my daily life. Shortcomings તો બધાને જ હોય, but how to overcome my own shortcomings that it doesn't spread to others. So that's my birthday resolution.
Very good.
Nothing big, but sure something to try. સજાન સ્વામી મહારાજની જય.
સરસ.
One at a time.
So back to our Sahaj Bhai's question. So in our satsang, we have three main levels. First we call God, Bhagavan. Second we call Sant, the Gunatit saint. And third we call Bhagavati, Bhagavan, Sant, Bhagavati. The quality of God is, by definition, He is supreme and only one. So, if He is the supreme and only one, then no one else can become like Him. Everybody would like to have the qualities of God, but still God is God, There is nothing equal to God. So there is another way of saying, that if God gives all His qualities to a saint or Bhagavati, then Bhagavati or saint would look like God. But the difference between God and the Bhagavati and saint is that if that Bhagavati has whatever God has given, gives to somebody else, then he becomes poor again. He does not have those powers or qualities left because he has given and that's gone. While if God gives something to Sant or Bhagavati, he still is same, There is no loss at all from God. So that is how God is defined, that He gives everything to everybody and still He is remained, as powerful. So with that quality, God is always abundant, He is always with lot of qualities, lot of virtues, So now between Sant and Bhagavati, Sant is the medium who would make Bhagavati understand more value or the virtues or magnanimity of God, Sant is the medium who would tell the Bhagavati to understand what God is, And with that, Bhagavati will grow, Bhagavati will rise from wherever, he is. So, if Bhagavati has the qualities of God, then there is obvious that Bhagavati is never going to say that I am God. If a Bhagavati says I am God, then he is not Bhagavati. He is not really mature to understand the value of God. So when Bhagavati is having the qualities of God, he would be still humble. He would be still very down to the earth, very, very, mixing with, all the others, And we may think, that he has a lot of qualities and a lot of, virtues of God. But he would never think that. He would always think that I am nothing, I am always, in the service of Sant and God, So, Bhagavati is always at the worship level, at the, humble level, even with those qualities. So, we have to develop this kind of understanding, that Bhagavati will never be calling himself God, or he would never call, himself, equal to God, Not only that, but even Sant, who has all these qualities, and he is even very close to God, and he is much more powerful, than Bhagavati. Sant would never say that I am equal to God, Sant would say that I am nothing in front of God, And we can see that in our Gunatit hierarchy, that Swaminarayan Bhagavan was very powerful God. Underneath him was Gunatitanand Swami. Gunatitanand Swami was very powerful also. Even he says in Swamini Vato, that if a Bhagavati has directly gone and associated with God, then he has only one step in Akshardham. But if a Bhagavati has accepted a Gunatit saint and then gone to Akshardham, then he has both steps in Akshardham. If you have in some place only one step, you cannot say that I am fully in that place, right? You cannot say that I am fully in Akshardham. But if you have both steps, then you are fully in Akshardham. Gunatitanand Swami is telling the glory of a Gunatit saint. For a Bhagavati to understand God, Gunatit saint is a must. But that does not mean that Gunatit saint is equal to God or more than God. The difference is that he is the medium explaining the Bhagavati how to be more closer to God. So, Gunatitanand Swami would never say that I am equal to Swaminarayan Bhagavan. Even in Vachanamrut also Swaminarayan Bhagavan has said, that there are innumerable demigods, and they cannot be equal to God. There are innumerable Akshar Muktos, and they cannot be equal to God. And even Anadi Modakshar Murti, which is only one, cannot be equal to God. If God wants, he can annihilate all those entities within him. There is a language they say that lay kari de, athwa to leen kari de, Bhagavan potani andar. But Bhagavan cannot get annihilated by any of those. So the level of God is much above and much higher then even saint, and then even Bhagavati. So, if a saint like Gunatitanand Swami, so powerful, would say that I am not equal to God, then anybody else will not be able to say that, right? Bhagaji Maharaj, who was the disciple of Gunatitanand Swami, he would never say that I am equal to God. He had all these powers, all these extraordinary qualities, but he would never say that I am equal to God. He would not even say that I am equal to Gunatitanand Swami. He would say that millions of me cannot make one hair of Gunatitanand Swami. So, there is the magnanimity, of Gunatitanand Swami. And if Gunatitanand Swami is so big, then how big is God? So how would Bhagavati then would think that I am equal to God, right? He would never think that, Then Bhagaji Maharaj, disciple Shastriji Maharaj has also said that, Shastriji Maharaj was very powerful, He started this Akshar Purushottam Upasana and BAPS, all over Gunati Samaj. We are all part of Shastriji Maharaj's, Sanstha, right? So how great is Shastriji Maharaj, right? He was so powerful that even the two other sansthas, the Ahmedabad and Vartal Sanstha, tried to, break him down. He was not broken down, He, like a very successful and powerful saint, established this Akshar and Purushottam Upasana, God and Gunatitanand Swami Upasana, But even Shastriji Maharaj would never say that I am equal to God. He would not say that even I am equal to Bhagaji Maharaj. And you can see the difference on a worldly level between Bhagaji Maharaj and Shastriji Maharaj. Bhagaji Maharaj was in a householder's normal clothes, white clothes, Shastriji Maharaj was in a sadhu's clothes, saffron clothes. Still, Shastriji Maharaj would say that I cannot be like Bhagaji Maharaj. There is one situation which happened in the time of Shastriji Maharaj and Bhagaji Maharaj, that Shastriji Maharaj was too much close to Bhagaji Maharaj. So in Vartal Mandir, they all decided that Shastriji Maharaj should be changed from saffron cloth to white clothes. And it's very unusual, if a sadhu is asked to change the saffron clothes to white clothes. Bhagaji Maharaj's guru, Gopalanand Swami, his first guru was Gopalanand Swami. He was forced to convert from saffron clothes to white clothes. And Gunatitanand Swami went all the way from Junagadh to Vartal in very quick time, and changed all that situation that he should not be done that, His white clothes should not be put on, That is how much Gunatitanand Swami was, interested and worthy of the saffron clothes, right? But here, the devotees and sadhus in Vartal Mandir decided that Shastriji Maharaj should become in white clothes, along with other saints also, And Shastriji Maharaj was not willing to do that, because he was given the saffron clothes by the Acharyaji, right? And Bhagaji Maharaj says, no, we have to put on the white clothes. We want to make Acharya happy. We want to make Kothari happy. We want to make Satsangi happy. And he put on the white clothes. Do you think that any sadhu, Jai Swaminarayan beta, Jai Swaminarayan, do you think any sadhu would listen to even his guru to change the clothes? Shastriji Maharaj did that. And then he was asked to put it back on, after a few months, But that is how Shastriji Maharaj had a respect towards Bhagatji Maharaj, That is how much great he was thinking of Bhagatji Maharaj, Even though he was a householder, even though he was in a different clothes, even though he was from the low caste, what is Shastriji Maharaj's greatness? Can we understand that? How great Shastriji Maharaj would be that he would accept Bhagatji Maharaj at his master's level, right? And Shastriji Maharaj said, that I am nothing in front of Bhagatji Maharaj. Then he is nothing in front of Gunatitanand Swami. Then he is nothing in front of Swaminarayan Bhagavan. So, and even we are not talking about Bhagavadi yet, we are talking about all Gunatit saints yet, right? And they think, that we are nothing, Then Yogi Bappa, he was always saying everything done by Shastriji Maharaj. Everything is blessed by Shastriji Maharaj, And today we all remember Yogi Bappa, right? Our society's name is YDS. What Y means? Right? Yogi, Divine Society. Yogi Bappa has Divine Society, Yogi Maharaj no Divya Samaj. It's all named after Yogi Ji Maharaj, And we all think, that we are nothing in front of Kakaji, Right? So, a Bhagavadi would never think that he is equal to God, A Bhagavadi would never think he is equal to saint, his master, Then, how could it be equal to God, right? So whoever thinks that way is still not there, He is lacking there, So, any Bhagavadi would never say that. And we should not even say that, We should not even think that Bhagavadi would think that he is equal to God also, He is always happy with praising the Gunatit saints and praising the God, God will give him all these amenities, all these powers, There was one devotee who went in Samadhi by Gunatitanand Swami's grace. He went to Akshardham. And in Akshardham, on the Sinhasan, what did he see? Who did he see? Normally you should say Bhagavan Swaminarayan. No, he saw Gunatitanand Swami there. So Bhagavan gave all this thing to Gunatitanand Swami, right? Sitting on this whole Akshardham, So Gunatitanand Swami is telling him now that can you see Swaminarayan Bhagavan? What does he say? Can you see Swaminarayan Bhagavan? He is not saying, can you see me? And that devotee says, there is so much light, there is so much abundance of light, I cannot see Swaminarayan Bhagavan, I just see you, So now how can he see Swaminarayan Bhagavan? So Gunatitanand Swami prayed to Swaminarayan Bhagavan. That Swaminarayan Bhagavan, this devotee has gone out of Gujarat to different countries and he has held his Nishkami Vartman very much intact. He has not misbehaved in his lustful act, So please give him darshan. And then Swaminarayan Bhagavan gave him the darshan. But what a prayer, Gunatitaran Swami made, right? So then he saw Swaminarayan Bhagavan. But Swaminarayan Bhagavan can give all the powers, he can make you sit right on the gadi and say, Sahaj, you are Sahajanand. And what do you say then? I am nothing in front of you. So that is how we have to think, the glory of God, the, magnanimity of saint, and even of Bhagavati, If we think that way, then we would never think that Bhagavati would ever think to be like equal to God, Yeah, it's getting time for your mom and sister came here to pick you up. Escort. And also, we have said that you want to go to bed early, so you can get up early tomorrow. Practice it so that tomorrow you can go to bed early, and Friday you can get up early to go to Sibir, ઓકે અમારા સંકલ્પભાઈ માટે કંઈક મીઠાઈ બીઠાઈ આપીશ બધાને એની બર્થડેની